No, it's not as bad as LA yet, but Tucson's traffic is getting there. Now cars often sneak through as red light runners. Tucson was listed as the second deadliest city in the U.S. for bicyclists. This is not good news for our community. With the opening of the loop, Tucsonans can now ride along 131 miles of auto-free pavement. Over 40 local organizations give support to their employees who commute by Suntran buses and the trolley. We've got this. Let's do it.
The traffic in Tucson is absolutely revolting. I hate driving in it. Fortunately, I'm semi-retired, so I can pick my times to go out a little bit, which I do. I ride my bike as much as possible. I live close to stores, libraries, doctors' offices. I get on my bike.
Traffic in Tucson is very, it changes all the time. Most of the time it seems pretty congested. In the summers, it kind of cools out a little bit early in the mornings, but even in the summers, the days get pretty busy.
There's not very many sticky seats, believe me. Let's see. So riding the bus saves me lots of money. I don't think I've ever figured out, but thousands and thousands of dollars, I know. Where I work at Pima County, they subsidize the bus pass, which is wonderful. So it's half price. So that's a really good incentive for people to get out of their cars and ride the bus. You know what? It forces me to exercise a little bit more because I get off at the bus stop and I walk about a quarter of a mile to where my house is, and vice versa in the morning. And you know what? By doing that, I meet my neighbors that I'd never met before when I was driving in my car. So it opens you up to the community along the way to get to the bus, but then also once you're in the bus, you meet incredible people. So it's been an enriching experience for my life in a lot of different ways. Did you get that? Enriching, right? So yeah, I love taking the bus.
Well, Look Save a Life is a nonprofit 501c3 organization aimed at the safety and awareness of all who utilize our public roads. So we realize that some cyclists may not follow the roads and some motorists choose to drive distracted. At the end of the day, safety is everyone's responsibility. I was a former firefighter, often responded to the tragic consequences of distracted driving. And in 2012, I launched Look Save a Life right here in Arizona, bringing it down from Boise, Idaho. In a strange twist of irony, almost 1 year later, on the morning of my girlfriend's birthday, we go out for a bike ride. And a distracted motorist looked down at his phone to see who was calling, and at 45 miles an hour comes in the bike lane, striking us both from behind. Now, this is totally crazy, but I ended up with 6 fractured vertebrae, fractured pelvis, diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury, and forced to a lengthy hospital recovery. So you might be wondering, what is distracted driving? Distracted driving is anything that takes your eyes off the road, hands off the wheel, and mind off the task of driving. There's 3 distractions when you drive. There's that physical distraction that takes your hands off the wheel. There's that visual distraction that takes your eyes off the road. And there's that cognitive distraction that takes your mind off the task of driving. Now, a lot of people think that hands-free, will save lives. To be honest with you, hands-free is not risk-free. You're still cognitively impaired. So the idea is that a moment's distraction can be a lifetime of regret. And the average distraction behind the wheel is roughly 3 to 5 seconds. Well, when you're traveling at speeds of 45 to 55 miles per hour, that is the equivalent of driving the length of a football field blindfolded. Think about that. So when I was laid up in a hospital bed with serious injuries, former state representative Ethan Orr and state senator Steve Farley came to my hospital bedside, and we held a press conference on trying to create legislation that would pass through the state, hopefully, and trying to curb distracted driving behavior. Still to this day, Arizona is one of 2 states in the entire nation that have failed to adopt a ban on texting while driving. So in seeing that, we're like, hey, this is ridiculous. People are still getting maimed in our own communities. So we turned to local jurisdictions. City of Tucson, Pima County, and the town of Oro Valley now have all passed a primary offense, hands-free ordinance to curb distracted driving, making this a Southern Arizona regional-wide initiative.